Hey guys, I'm cmasupra and welcome to another Company of Heroes video. Now I played 4 games against a certain opponent whose name is CDunG04 or something like that. You can see it on the screen. And the reason I played 4 games against him is we were pretty closely paired in terms of skill, and we got some good games together. We played 4 games together, and I recorded all 4, and I'm going to commentate over all 4 games. This will be the first of the 4 games. The reason I want to commentate over 4 games against the same opponent, which might seem a little weird, is because every time I played against him, I used a different strategy to defeat him. Because I'm always playing as the Wehrmacht in these games, he's always playing as the British, and we're always playing on Langres, which is arguably the most balanced map in this game. At least in my opinion, it is. Maybe alongside Angoville. Angoville might be more balanced, but anyways, we do 4 matches like that, and every time I play against him, against his Brits, I use a different strategy. So you'll basically get to see 4 different strategies against the Brits, and you can see how well they do. I don't win every game in these 4 games. I don't lose every game. So I don't really want to spoil it. I don't want to tell you which games I win, which games I lose, unless I have to for that particular game. So you guys don't know what's going to happen right now. Anyways, I'm doing a normal start here, and I just have 2 Pioneer squads. A Volksgrenadier squad is the first one out of the whatchamacallit, the Wehrmacht quarters, and I have found some British infantry who have apparently not decided to go capturing points, but instead have decided to fight, which is the complete opposite of what I do when I'm playing as Brits in the early game. I mean, you do have a fighting force that's more capable than your opponents in the early game, but it's not exactly worth fighting in the early game, in my opinion. It's more worth capping points. I play a very offensive British style. Anyways, I was trying to lure him with my Volks over to the left side of the map, but that didn't work. He ended up just going to my cutoff point. So I'm like, okay, Volks, you come back here, and I will time it perfectly so that my other Volksgrenadier squad finishes at the same time as my other first Volksgrenadier squad gets back to my opponent's squad here. And it works out quite well because he's being flanked basically, and ooh, there's a lieutenant. You Volksgrenadier should go kill that lieutenant because that would be a huge blow to him. But as I said, it was working out well to flank my opponent here because he had green cover from one side of fire, so from one of my Volk squads, but not against the other. And I had yellow cover on, at minimum, on both of my squads. Is he going to lose this lieutenant? He does not lose the lieutenant. Oh my gosh. That sucked. I wish I would have killed it. That would have been amazingly awesome. He says lucky, and that is so true. These Pio squads are doing nothing, or rather this Pio squad, these pioneers, I don't know, something. Anyways, the third unit, not squad, out of my Wehrmacht quarters is a bike. And something that's a little weird compared to what I normally do as the Wehrmacht against the Brits. Normally I go bike second unit, not third. But in this case I wanted to go for it and as the third unit, and we'll just have to see how that turns out for me. You did see my pioneers over on the right side near his HQ, and I was trying to kill his lieutenant because I thought it was over there, but it wasn't. I was a little too late. But now I'm chasing the lieutenant, and there's a Brin carrier on me. And as any smart British player would do, he chases me with that Brin carrier because my bike is low health. Bikes do not win against Brin carriers, even unupgraded Brin carriers. So if he can chase me and damage me, he will be able to destroy my bike, and that would not be good. So he is chasing it. I'm not doing a good job microing it. You can see on the minimap it's just sitting still in the middle of the map. And the whole reason for that is I'm trying to focus on killing his infantry. And I'm not too worried about the Brin carrier because I am teching up to tier 2, as you can see. And this is actually really early tech to tier 2 in my opinion. And this is also one of the reasons I don't ever buy Brin carriers as Brits. Oh, he just lost a squad. I am glad I focused on killing that squad, and I lost my bike as a trade for it. That's a pretty good deal. He lost 450 manpower, I lost 180. Anyways, as I was saying, the reason I don't build a Brin carrier as Brits against the Wehrmacht is all they have to do is tech early to tier 2 rather than late, and they have a counter to Brin carrier, as you can see right here. one Faust and it is over half health lost, so it's like down to a quarter health or something. I did just lose my Volk squad there, but it's not too big of a loss. I'm still profiting more in terms of manpower loss than he is. But it was bad. I just retreated them too late. And he says, brutal opening sequence, and I fully agree with him. This is more action than I normally have playing against the Brits as Wehrmacht. Like I said at the beginning of the game, we just found each other in auto match, so wasn't like a planned game or anything like that. So I wasn't trying to get videos against this guy or whatever. Another Panzerfaust incoming. Oh, he's not backing up in time, and he has lost it. I spent 70 munitions to kill his Brin carrier. He could have spent some munitions to repair it. I don't know how much it costs, but he didn't. And that's... it. I don't know. I never build Brin carriers, so I don't know if it would have been worth repairing it or not. I may have been better off just as a capping unit, because he is capturing points with his lieutenant, which I find kind of weird. I know lots of Brit players do it, and I don't, because I would rather get veterancy on my lieutenant. Because if I don't get veterancy on him, basically Wehrmacht veterancy, Panzer Elite veterancy, any veterancy is going to own my troops, so I don't ever go capture points with my lieutenant. I sometimes do with my captain, not very often. I only do it if I have nothing better to use to capture points, but I never do it with the lieutenant. Lieutenant basically, even though it needs veterancy, and so does the captain, the reason I would cap anything with the captain is because the defensive bonus is not as good as the offensive moving bonus that you get with the lieutenant, so you can move faster in various areas of the map, basically anywhere that you don't own. So right there you saw me salvaging munitions. That is a very smart thing to do as Wehrmacht. As Wehrmacht, what I was going to say. As Wehrmacht, because you need munitions as Wehrmacht. Wehrmacht basically relies on munitions like Americans rely on fuel. Panzer Elite relies on fuel, although not to the same extent. Panzer Elite needs more fuel than Wehrmacht needs munitions, I'll say that. So anyways, I built a Kriegsbarracks, and I have built one Grenadier squad. I'm building another. I am kind of fearing a Stuart right now, but at the same time I'm not too worried about it because I do have 40 munitions. And with 40 munitions, while I might not be able to kill a Stuart because I can't get a Panzerschreck, packs do not cost munitions, they cost manpower. I can only use one Faust, stuff like that. I do have all 3 victory points, which puts pressure on my opponent to capture them, and if my opponent's pressured to capture victory points, he obviously needs more infantry, not a Stuart. So I'm not too worried about the Stuart. Even if it does come, I can use one Faust to damage it and make him think, oh no, he has Faust, he can Faust me to death, and basically it'll just scare my opponent. That was a nice grenade. Anyways, as you can see, a Stuart arrived on the field, and I want to finish salvaging munitions. I luckily am able to do it and then retreat without taking any losses, at least not yet. I don't know if I take any more losses. Doesn't appear I do. And my opponent's capturing with a lieutenant, not a lieutenant, a captain. I don't know what's capturing the victory point on the left side, but something's capping it. Now, as you can see, my opponent's chasing me into my own base. I can afford 2 Panzerfausts. I have 37 munitions, but I just spent 1 Panzerfaust, so I can afford another one, and that would make 2. So I can basically make his Stuart useless because after 2 Panzerfaust hits, it only takes 1 more Panzerfaust hit in order for me to destroy the Stuart if the 3rd hit is lucky. Sometimes it takes 4, just like against the M8. Sometimes it takes 4, just because of the 5% feature. The reason I even put an emphasis on the word feature there is because it used to be considered a bug, but then Relic said no, it's intentional. So it was considered a bug for years. So I put feature. I emphasized the feature there. I now have a. Oh, that was a. My squad needs to retreat. Yeah. I now have a pack on the field, and that does more damage than Panzerfausts do, so that's a good thing. It also has more range, and it doesn't cost munitions, and a whole bunch of things. The only downside is it's not 360 degree, but I can handle that because look at the territory I have on the map. It's not very much. I can easily handle having a pack be mostly my whole AT setup. Especially because his Stuart is just sitting still in front of my Volks Grenadiers, and my pack is moving up to them, as you can see. He has his Stuart basically at max range, which is smart. If you want to use it to fight while it's repairing, that's the way to go, is have it at max range so your sappers don't get shot at. Also because of the fact that I have a pack, so if I start shooting at it with my pack, he can just move his Stuart back, which it appears he has, because I think my pack shot at him and either hit him or missed him, obviously one of those two things, and the Stuart's nowhere to be found anymore, so who knows where it went. Having Pioneer squads capture the whole left side of the map. Speaking of which, I said that I sometimes use a captain to capture points around the map. It's not exactly smart, because if a Pioneer squad shows up, the captain will lose, unlike a lieutenant. A lieutenant will win against Pioneers as long as the lieutenant is able to shoot the Pioneers before the Pioneers get into range of killing the lieutenant. If the Pioneers do get in range of killing the lieutenant before the lieutenant shoots anything, like if the lieutenant was capturing a point or something, the lieutenant may or may not win. It's just a gamble. Here he has a Stuart protecting his captain, so that worked out well for him. Kinda sucks for me, though. Because obviously I don't want to lose my Pioneer squad. Yeah, that's basically why.
We're losing territory.
So, his Stuart is going into my base. Okay. Volk squad, you're gonna have to start using Panzer IV. I just lost a Pioneer squad. That really sucks, but I do have a Volks Grenadier squad shooting at his captain. Maybe it'll kill the captain, who knows. That's one Faust. I hope that he runs over the mine. He doesn't. Oh, that would have been very, very nice. And now I have to turn around my pack because the Stuart is behind my pack. And I don't think there's another Stuart coming out on the field. I don't know if there is, but even if there is, it would stop and shoot at my infantry. He wouldn't go straight for the pack. He doesn't know where the pack is, so he can't really go straight for the pack. Ooh, he's coming right in front of the pack. Like I just said, he doesn't know where it is. He's taking damage. He's one hit away from dying. Now he knows where it is. He can circle it, and he knows it's my only AT. He does know I have Panzerfaust. I mean, any player would really know that because I do have Volks. And I have a Volk squad coming up. Is he going to run away? He is going to run away. I was going to say he's not because he looked like he was indecisive, but he does run away. He knows that one Faust from the Volks will kill his Stuart, so very smart. He just ran over a mine. Something ran over a mine. I place lots of mines against British players. It's very smart to do because they don't have any way of finding them, except for like, I don't even know what can, actually. What detects mines as the British? I don't even know what detects mines. I mean, I know sappers can get an upgrade to detect mines, but that's a little ways off. Like, mines early on? What do they have that can detect mines? A recon squad can't. I'm pretty sure I've had recon squads... Ooh, that was a brutal shot. I'm pretty sure I've had recon squads die from mines. I mean, individual men in a squad. I haven't lost a full recon squad to a mine, I don't think. Maybe I have. It doesn't happen very often because they have so much health. Anyways, I'm taking to tier 4 apparently. I am going tier 4 instead of veterancy because I just thought I would do that this game for some reason. He does only have one pack on the field. Not one pack. I have one pack. He has one Stuart on the field, and he doesn't appear to be making more, which kind of makes me think he's going for Cromwells. Now, when I was playing this game, I did not think he was going for Cromwells, because most British players don't. At least I never do, and the ones... Usually when I play against a British player, I either win early on, or I end up losing, so I don't really see Cromwells very often. Now this game is not quite the case. As you can see by the video time, it's over 35 minutes. It's like 37, 38, something like that. And I will have to see what happens. I don't want to spoil things, and at the same time I do. Oh well, I'll leave you guys in suspense as to who's going to win this fight. I do have a pack sitting in the middle of the field. it's in a pretty bad spot. But at the same time, it's it's giving me sight range of everything that's going on in the right side of the map. So it's kind of a good thing. And losing the pack would be bad. And hey, he has an armored command. I can expect Cromwells. Okay. So I should know to expect Cromwell sometime soon. Lucky for me, I did tech to tier 4, and yeah, let's talk about this. So I I am just now realizing this. It is a very, very good thing I tech to tier 4 instead of going for veterancy. And the reason for that is, oh, not Cromwell's, T17 or something. But the reason it's very good that I went tier 4 instead of veterancy is because I don't have munitions. And you might be thinking, if you get veterancy, why do you need munitions? The answer is for Panzer Shreks. Because if you're going for veterancy, you're only going to have grenadiers, and if you only have grenadiers, your only anti-tank is Panzer Shreks and packs, but packs are not the most reliable thing, as you can see here. My opponent's doing a good job attacking packs once he finds them. So if I had gone veterancy, I wouldn't have had much AT, and I currently don't have much AT. I'm upgrading one Panzer Shrek right now because that's all I can afford. And I don't want to waste the manpower on packs, because I still needed some anti-infantry abilities to counter my opponent's infantry, and the best way to do that is to get a Panzer IV. A Panzer IV will deal with his tanks and infantry, and his tanks are actually all weaker than a Panzer IV. He has a T17 and a Stuart, or some T17, T18, a Staghound. I don't even know what the Tales of Valor units are. So it's so similar to the M8 alternative as the Americans. I don't know what the difference is between the M8 alternative and the Cromwell alternative, because I don't own Tales of Valor, nor do I have any desire to buy it. So there was somewhere I was going with something I was saying before the Tales of Valor rant. Oh yeah, it's a good thing I didn't go for veterancy, and instead I'm going to get Panzer IVs, and I'm not going to go for Ostwinds. Ostwinds would be able to deal with both of his units, but he does have my pack, and I also, just in case Piats show up, or a Churchill shows up, or a Firefly shows up, I want to make sure I have enough health on whatever vehicle I get. So a Panzer IV has much more health than an Ostwind, and the Panzer IV is probably the way to go. Panther, definitely no. Definitely no. It does have more health, but it does not have anti-infantry capabilities. It sucks against infantry. It sucks really, really badly. And I'm upgrading another Panzer Shrek, apparently. That would make 2 Panzer Shreks that I have instead of just the one I currently have. And he took quite a bit of damage for capturing that point. Lucky for me, I can just capture it again. And I do have a Panzer Shrek here. Wow, that looked like it should... Oh my gosh! That Panzer Shrek shot missed, and he got a nice canister shot. That was lucky for him. Or skillful. I mean, it might have been skillful, because canister shots take skill. For those of you who don't know, the best way to shoot a canister shot, or the best range, is medium range. So not the max range, not point blank. Point blank, it sucks, believe it or not. The best range is medium range, so always remember that when you want to use a canister shot, go to medium range against your opponent. So now I have a Panzer IV out on the field, and we'll have to see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and say it doesn't do that great. He does have my pack. He has a T17 or whatever that is out on the field, which means he has an armored command, which we actually saw the armored command truck. And you know what else comes out of an armored command truck? If you don't know what else comes out of an armored command truck, you're about to find out, because let's just say it kills Panzer IVs really, really well. Either that or I suck at microing Panzer IVs. Yay, he's retreating, and now he's actually seen my Panzer IV. He knows it's there. What vehicle is he sending to my Panzer IV? He's sending a Stuart. Panzer IVs are better than Stuarts. I mean, especially when they have Vet 1. I just realized my Panzer IV has Vet 1. Apparently I upgraded Vet 1 at some point for tanks. I was not aware of this. I'm showing my rear armor. That is not a good thing, but I do need to kill that pack. I am so focused on killing that pack right now. he really shouldn't be moving it. Instead, he should be just shooting with it. Oh my god, another canister shot. At least I kill his Stuart. And I'm flaming these things out of this building. This rifle squad, that's what it is. Rifle section, infantry section, something like that. I still don't know what that unit on the left of the screen is called. What is that thing called? I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comments. You guys always correct me on things, and I like it. I like when you guys correct me, believe it or not. Because the more you know about this game, the better you'll play. And that is always a good thing. Is he going to lose this squad because he's fighting a flamer? No, he is not. We both retreat. This switch is intelligent. Although he might lose it to the Panzer IV, oh boy. And it's now Vet 2, which means it has a machine gun on the top. Is he going to lose the squad to the Panzer IV? If I'm smart, I will tell the Panzer IV to focus fire on them, but I don't think I do. I think I tell it to just keep shooting at the medic thingy. Casualty clearing center. There we go. No, he does lose the squad. Yes, he lost the squad. There we go. And he lost his medic thingy, I believe. Although I seem to remember it not killing it. He might have lost it. Maybe that was a different game. Like I said, we played 4 games, so I don't know. I think he did lose it, though. Because I wouldn't be leaving there otherwise. There was nothing threatening my Panzer IV. Anyways, my opponent has now seen my Panzer IV. He's seen it for a while, actually, so he knows it's there. He very much knows it's there, and he knows he needs to counter it, and he knows he doesn't have anything to counter it. So what do you think my opponent's going to come out with next to counter this Panzer IV? I'll give you a big hint. Oh hey, he just lost a lieutenant. Here's the big hint. It's on your screen. That's the one way to give a hint. I was actually going to say it, but okay, it's on the field. It's a Firefly. Firefly Sherman. And those things will annihilate Panzer IVs even when the Panzer IV is Vet 1, because for those of you who don't know, Panzer IV Vet 1, it only gives it 15% less reduction in penetration, so like it will be, it's 15% harder to penetrate. However, that doesn't really matter against Fireflies, because Fireflies have a 17-pounder for a gun, and 17-pounders can penetrate Panzer IVs easily. So, Vet 1 doesn't really do anything for my Panzer IV against the Firefly. As for Vet 2 gives it an MG on the top, which does nothing against a Firefly. So basically, oh boy, I really want to kill this Firefly, but basically my Panzer IV has 0 improvement against the Firefly, and so it's screwed, because I suck at microing it. I tried so hard to kill the Firefly with Panzer tricks, because it sucks against infantry. Is he going to lose that squad? He does lose the squad! Yes, he's lost so many squads. It is awesome. Now granted, he's lost so many squads, but I'm still losing, in a way. I mean, I do have way more victory points in terms of total number remaining. But in terms of map control, I am losing, and map control kind of matters late in the game. Kind of. So, I am losing right now. Darn, I didn't kill the Stoghound or whatever that thing is. So, yeah. I did get munitions out of the Panzer IV. I needed more munitions anyways, so that works out. I've actually seen Axis players intentionally lose vehicles just for munitions. I've seen them attack their own vehicles for munitions. It's kind of funny. When you need munitions and you have too much fuel and manpower, I guess, you can sacrifice vehicles in exchange for munitions. I have seen pros do it. It's pretty funny. And also pretty confusing. Something I do want to mention is I have 2 mines sitting in my base. Those mines I planted when I didn't have really much AT on the field, and I wanted to make sure that if my opponent came into my base, I would kill any unit that came into my base. Sadly, though, it never happened. At least so far, it never happened in the video. He's always gone around to the right side of my Panzer Command, so basically, those mines are not getting used. Now here we can see he's gone commandos, and my Panzer IV will own commandos. They can't do anything to it. But that's a huge thing to know. He's gone commandos. Really the only thing he has now is commando squads that he can call down, and artillery, which he is calling down right here. Sadly. It really sucks. I hate artillery from commandos. It's quite good. You'll have to see. He uses it. Yeah, I'll say this. He uses a ton of artillery in this game. He doesn't always go the commando doctrine, I believe. Maybe he does. But he uses a lot of artillery in these 4 games. Also, commando artillery has a really quick refresh time, so you never really know when it's real and when it's fake. Even if real was just popped down, the next one that comes could still be real as well. That always sucks. But anyways, what is firing at my units? What is firing? I don't know, but that's all. That was a Firefly. So that's the second Panzer IV that I just lost. And his Firefly took 0 damage. I have 3 Panzerschreck squads, none of which have killed the Firefly yet. That's the same Firefly as before that killed my first Panzer IV. So either I suck at microing Panzer IVs, or my opponent knows what he's doing with Fireflies. I don't know which one it is, but I would think a Firefly should lose to a Panzer IV, except at long range. Sadly, that doesn't happen, as you've seen twice in this video already, so that sucks. I should really work on stopping saying the word "so" and then pausing and coming up with something to say, because the whole reason I pause after saying "so" is to think, what am I gonna say? I should really fix that. I'm working on talking better. I am working on it. Not this video, though. This video is gonna be like usual, because I just realized that I'm not really working on it this game. Oh well. So, he has commandos, like we saw earlier, and those things are strong even at long range. I mean, they're really good at short range, because they have SMGs, but even at long range, they are really good. So, I'm actually losing squads to his commandos at long range. That's like terrible. Here you can see me choosing the King Tiger. I chose Terror and then King Tiger. And the whole reason I chose the King Tiger here is because, as you can see, I am losing. And I'm losing by quite a bit. I don't have much map control left. And my opponent doesn't have much in terms of AT. He has a Firefly and a Cromwell, which we've seen only once in this video so far. But he does have it, so he doesn't have much AT. And neither one of those things can really kill a King Tiger. Or so I thought. You'll have to see how the King Tiger thing goes here. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I didn't win all 4 games. I didn't lose all 4 games. So you guys will just have to see what happens. I mean, neither of his units can really kill the King Tiger. But at the same time, as I said in the Jeep and King Tiger video, King Tigers suck. So they cost 1,000 manpower and they're not very good at killing things. So we'll just have to see what happens here. I am flanking to the left of my opponent. As you can see on the minimap, I'm capturing the leftmost victory point, and apparently my opponent built some trenches. I was just like, oh great, you're really building trenches? Okay, well I have flamers, I have grenades, and I have a King Tiger. Your trenches are not going to stand up to any of those things except a King Tiger. So, because the King Tiger sucks. They won't even kill trenches. Which makes sense really, no tank does. But anyways, his trenches are not going to be very good. Now, as you can see, he gave me a trench over on the left side off the screen. He gave me the trench. He got out of the trench and retreated. He didn't double tap the delete key. I will go ahead and say that for the first 3 games, he didn't know you could delete trenches. And that's actually the second person I have taught. The first person I taught was, I know it was one of my subscribers. I believe it was you, Matic74. I believe it was you. I know you're watching this video. I believe it was you that I taught. Like, oh my gosh, you can delete trenches. So, for the first 3 games we played, me and my opponent here, he didn't know that you could delete trenches. 4th game, he did, because I was just like, every time you build a trench, I flush you out of it, and you seem to just give it to me. Why are you doing this? And so I told him, you know you can delete trenches, right? And he was like, oh my god, you can delete trenches! That was after like 5 minutes of him saying, no you can't, what are you talking about? You can't do it! I'm ignoring you and ignoring reason. I'm not gonna listen to what you tell me to do. Because I was telling him to double tap the delete key. That's how you delete a trench, by the way, for those of you who don't know. When you have a unit in the trench, just double tap the delete key on the trench and it'll be deleted. I kept telling him, double tap your delete key. and he just wouldn't listen. So he was just like for 5 minutes, no, you can't delete trenches. Shut up. But no, you can. So the whole reason I even talked about all that was because he gave me a trench, and that was really bad for him. Because now I basically own the area right in front of my base because of the two trenches here, and so he can't really push me back as far as he did earlier. Also, uh, here's where my keyboard messed up. It took me. I didn't press spacebar. I pressed something else. I don't know what I pressed. I pressed Alt. I pressed Alt, and it maybe I did press spacebar. Alt key's right next to it. I don't know. I didn't intentionally press the spacebar, anyways. So I was trying to press Alt to rotate the camera and grab the Brin. Now, as you can see, I am getting a lot of munitions from salvaging, and I only have a plus 21 munitions income, so salvaging is really helping me here. Oh yeah, my opponent said wall, and I said why lol. How it happens that one of those KTs show up just in the nick of time, I don't know. Oh, it's because they're so cheap, and they are cheap. They're only 500 to call in. They cost 500 over time, manpower that is. So they're pretty cheap to call in. So it's just like, yeah, King Tiger over the regular Tiger. The regular Tiger is better at killing. It's better against infantry, better against tanks. It is more mobile. It's better at killing. It just doesn't have as much health. So it's also more expensive. I mean, it does only cost 800 manpower instead of 1,000, but it's more expensive to call in. So I usually go for the King Tiger when I need an emergency heavy tank, not the Tiger. Tiger is just too expensive, because normally if I need something in an emergency, I don't have 800 manpower sitting around, but I can get 500 manpower in a decent amount of time. So he's building a 17-pounder. I must kill it. I must kill it. I can't afford for him to have that 17-pounder there hitting my King Tiger. So it happens perfectly that my Panzer IV squad is moving up, or rather, a whole bunch of my Panzer IV squads are moving up and killing the emplacement. Sadly, though, he threw on artillery. It was real even, so that is killing a lot of my units. I am able to kill, or at least heavily damage, a lot of his vehicles, but that's not enough. As you can see, he has 2 Fireflies. He's gonna lose this T-17 or whatever. My King Tiger is pretty low on health, and he has 2 Fireflies charging at it. I don't know why he was charging. Maybe he thought I was backing up farther than I was. You shouldn't charge with Fireflies. But he was charging. I have to turn my tank so that the rear armor is not facing him, which is really what's supposed to happen. You don't want your rear armor facing your opponent. So I had to turn my tank and reinforce my units. But I want to talk about the King Tiger. Watch this, it's on very low health. One more hit and it can die. Not guaranteed to die, can die. So let's see what happens. Oh, I lost my unit. I lost my King Tiger. That's a King Tiger down. That's 1,000 manpower. That basically did nothing except disrupt my opponent. It killed nothing, not anything at all, as far as I'm aware. You can go back in the video and check how many infantry and tank kills it had. I'm pretty sure that both of those would have been 0. I don't think it killed anything. But it did disrupt my opponent. And the disruption was enough for me to be able to get a little bit of map control back. I captured the middle victory point. I'm about to capture the right victory point here once I kick my opponent out of the point. I have 100 munitions. I should really force retreat that commando squad in the middle. I'm not doing it though. Why am I not doing it? I probably didn't think of it or something. I don't know. Oh, that's artillery coming down on my squads. I'm glad I moved the other 2 squads. But yeah. I didn't force retreat the commando squad in the middle. But I do go ahead over to the leftmost victory point and start capturing it, and then I decide to lay a mine next to it once they're done capturing it, which you do by holding shift. You can queue commands. And that'll be good. Have a mine next to there, because, like I said, Brits don't really have any way of detecting mines, so it works out. I am capturing the leftmost victory point and the rightmost victory point. As you can see, my opponent only has 30 remaining, so I basically just have to get him down 30, and that's actually harder than you'd think, especially when you are not winning. That makes it really hard. And when you don't see grenades, I don't know how I didn't see that grenade, but I didn't. Then my opponent left me? What? You should have finished me off. Why didn't you finish me off, Mr. Opponent? Mr. C-Dun-G-04? I don't know what your name is or how to pronounce it. Maybe it means something. C-Dun-G-04 means nothing to me. Just like cmasupra probably means nothing to a lot of people, even though I know exactly what it means. Because I made it. My opponent runs over the mine on the left side of the leftmost victory point. That works out well. I do have all 3 VPs, surprisingly. Like I said, my opponent really should have finished me off in the middle VP, but he didn't. So I get to capture all 3 VPs. I do a forced retreat. You're not getting that VP, dude. And he has 6 remaining for... This Pyro Squad's not going to win this fight. There we go. He has the VP. 1 VP remaining. He can't do it. I decided to try and capture this just because I didn't realize the game was over. I thought I needed more VPs, but I didn't. So that was the end of the game. It was a good game, a decent game. And it's not on camera, but he asked me for a rematch. So there will be 3 more games against this guy. And trust me, we both play better than we did in this game. Except maybe in the second game. Second game was such a steamroll, it's hilarious. It really is. So, yeah. I'm not going to say who wins the second game. You saw here, I did terribly with the King Tiger. I didn't have much map control, but I had control of the VPs, and that's how I win. Or won, not win. Past tense. English. So, those 2 mines in my base didn't ever get blown up. I wanted to mark that out for you. I even zoomed in. Like, I should mention the fact that I planted these mines, and they didn't get blown up. And they didn't get blown up because he never bent over them, which kind of sucked. But anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video. There will be 3 more against this guy, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys. It's just a perfect example of how micro matters, macro matters. It doesn't matter how badly you're beating your opponent, you still have to play well, as you have actually seen in some of my videos previously where I was beating my opponent severely.